Where are you from?
California?
So why do you have an accent?
What accent?
Why do you talk like that?
I don't know, baby.
Okay, no really, where were you born? Why do you talk like that?
Oh, where I was born. I came from a small colony on Mars. I'm just fucking with you. I actually came from Uranus. Yeah, these are real questions I get asked on a daily basis, and these are the real answers I give. I honestly apologize to all the people who know me in real life because you've heard me say that entire spiel way too many times. But today, I'm ready to speak my truth. I told you guys that when Molly and the Mooners got to 10K, I would give you the real answer, and we're now at like almost 12. So the truth is, wow, this is like really a lot to announce to public, especially after the amount of scrutiny I've received in my life. I've been faking an accent for 20 years. Bro, this is a real conspiracy people have about me. There's a lot of conspiracies about me, but that's one of them. That's one of the longest running ones. I will be fucking with people about this topic till I die. Mostly because it has been fucking with me my whole life and will probably continue to. If you're new here, hi, I'm Molly. I am from California, now living on Maui. I have been working the tourist industry for the past 4 years, so you can imagine that gets a lot of questions. Being in a line of work where you speak on a microphone and don't sound like a typical American, the question, what is your accent, is like 10 times a day, at least. And living in Hawaii and having tourists come who don't know what a Hawaiian accent sounds like, they'll be like, oh, you must have grown up here. And I'm like, no, I'm actually from California. I came here because I'm a marine biologist. And they're like, why do you have a Hawaiian accent? Are you faking it? And I'm like, these people clearly don't know what a Hawaiian accent sounds like, which makes it even more awkward. I'm not gonna try and demonstrate it, but I can guarantee that it doesn't sound like this. Even before I moved here, it was a big question in my life. All growing up, I actually got bullied for the way I talk. Kids are mean, especially if you talk different than they do. And even past my in real life encounters, I've been an internet personality for a while now and have gotten a shit ton of scrutiny on here.
Why do you talk like a baby? Why are you forcing your voice to sound like that? Shut the fuck up, your voice is so annoying that it's hurting my ears.
I've had enough. Here's my final statement. This time I'm cutting the bullshit. Very few people in my life get this straightforward answer, but I told you guys at 10K you'd get to find out, so accent reveal. I have a speech articulation disorder. Yeah, a little bit wee-wee. It's okay. One of my close friends growing up used to call it sad. And I agree. Starting in preschool, I started taking speech therapy classes, sessions, I don't know what to call it. If anybody needs receipts, I'm sure they're packed away in a file somewhere at my dad's house. A lot of kids have speech articulation disorders and go to speech therapy, which basically looks like there's a nice lady in a room with like 3 of you sitting there, and she's holding up cards that example would have a rabbit on it, and she's like, rabbit. And then the kids all look back at her and go, wabbit. And she goes, no, rabbit. Wabbit. Rabbit. Wabbit. So yeah, I was in those type of programs from preschool, well through elementary school. They eventually graduated me out. Basically, good enough. Go on, bird, fly. People can at least know what you're saying now. Before, my mom and sister would have to translate for me. Someone would like turn to me and ask something, and I would let out this incoherent string of sounds, and then they would just be puzzled and look to my mom, and she's like, she said she likes chocolate milk. My younger brother actually had a similar dialect, and I moved into a position where I was then translating for him to other people because we were speaking the same language. I spent a long time in those programs, and I just never got to a point where I sound completely normal. Or normal, whatever the fuck that means. I don't actually believe in the word normal, but for lack of better terms, I sound normal-ish. There's still a little bit of something going on when I talk, which I can't pinpoint. If you can imagine trying to hear yourself differently when all you've heard is yourself as yourself, it's really tricky to break. It's also really tricky to talk about because trying to talk about the way I talk is this weird paradox where then I'm overthinking how I'm talking because I'm talking about how I'm talking, and then I feel like I'm not even talking like my usual self. I'll be honest, I hated the way I talked for a long time, mainly because of the bullying and for that human sense of wanting to blend in. I have 5 Aquarius placements in my zodiac chart, so at this point I would rather stick out, and I've learned to love the way I talk. I know that I don't sound like most people, and I know that some people find my voice extremely annoying and grating to their ears. Those people can fuck off and suck a dick. Because there's also a whole slew of people that love my voice, love the way I talk, come to my channel specifically to hear me talking, come out on the boats to hear me give speeches about whales. I've been on a long self-acceptance journey, and this is something I finally accept about myself. Like, dude, I've cried in so many of my videos. It's like, I really put my soul out on this internet thing sometimes. I accept myself. I love myself. I've been singing a bunch more in recent times. Like, if you want to check out my music, go on Warm Pistachio, tag below. Living in Hawaii has helped a lot because it's such a melting pot. I mean, I come from a county in California, which is actually the most diverse county in all of California. So I grew up around a highly diverse crowd, and then moving out here, it feels even more diverse and beautiful, and it has just let me come to so much self-love and acceptance. Like, honestly, I'm just fucking hot and overwhelmed. I'm gonna go dip in the ocean real quick and be right back. All right, I'm back, and before I get back to the paradox of talking about how I talk, I want to tell you guys that I have 5 YouTube channels. We have a new episode premiere every Saturday at 10 a.m. Hawaiian Standard Time. It can happen on any of my 5 YouTube channels, so turn on notifications for all of them to never miss a premiere. The premieres are live events that go straight into a live stream happening in real time right after here on this channel. I honestly don't know what else to say about the whole sad thing. I could go on for a really fucking long time about it. I probably will go on about it in this week's live stream that's happening right after this premiere, because I'm sure people will have more questions. I'm releasing my shame. Everybody's got stuff about themselves that they're kind of iffy on. or maybe even straight up hate. So here is something that kind of held me back for a long time and I've been able to get over. So I hope that it inspires at least one person to accept one more thing about themselves. At this point, I like the way I talk. You kind of have to at least somewhat enjoy the way you talk if you're gonna pursue being a YouTuber, because the amount of hours I spend watching myself while I'm editing is bonkers. I'm super grateful for all of the Mooners who have been on this amazing journey with me. I'm curious to know if this is what answer any of you expected. People guess all type of stuff. There's people who try and guess what country I'm from, and it's always wrong because I'm from the country of California. This is a super vulnerable share, and that's coming from me. I literally ripped an IUD out of myself on camera. So for me to say some shit's vulnerable, like I'm showing you my core being. I'm gonna throw in a little update for all the people who want to know what happened after last week's Van on the Moon episode. The van's still not working. I've been walking around and Ubering around and then just going back to the van as home base. So it may not drive, but it still has a bed in it and all my stuff. So yeah, there's my public statement. I don't have an accent per se. I have a speech articulation disorder, so suck on that. Peace, love, and Mooner shit. You're beginning to feel very relaxed, maybe even a little bit sleepy. After watching this video clip, you're gonna become my biggest fan, and you're gonna have the sudden urge to go check out my website, where you can find all of the amazing vibes that I have to offer. Now, once I snap my fingers, you're gonna forget that you watched this clip at all. And if anyone asks you about it, you're just gonna answer, I don't know, baby.